Oh, that's weird. Why on earth is there a square on my face? This is weird. Hello, good morning, everyone. Welcome to FPL Mate. We are back for another deadline stream where I apparently have a square on my face. Now it's fixed. Excellent. Well done. How are you, everyone? Hope we're all doing very well this morning. We are back for another deadline stream after a long time. I need a hat today. I think clearly my bedhead look is not working for me, but that's all right. How is everyone this morning? Hope we are all very well. There's plenty to talk about today. I'm on a bench boost, so I don't have many benching decisions to be made this week, but I'm sure some of you guys do. So I think bench list today is going to be really, really important. Really, really important. So we're going to crack on with that. There's also been some injury news and stuff like that. We did cover that a little bit yesterday, but if you want to check out the ticker at the bottom, we've got all the latest news there. I know there's no Anthony news, Jaden Anthony. I know some people are still hoping for Jaden Anthony news, but there really hasn't been anything reported on him. And no news is maybe good news on him if you are a Jaden Anthony owner. Enzo's going to be a big question today as well, of course. And for me, I think Enzo is probably going to start, but I have absolutely no way of verifying that. But certainly as someone on a bench boost, I'll show you my team. Let's just throw it on screen. As someone on a bench boost, I can't really... Why is everything so laggy today? I have no idea. As someone on a bench boost, it's not really something I can risk with Enzo. Otherwise, I would be moving grinders to Enzo. That's what I would do personally. But yeah, we cannot be sure. The news is that if Enzo was able to train yesterday, that he would be available to start. If he was unable to train yesterday, then he would be unavailable to start. Of course, on Thursday, we know he didn't train and that he was doubtful as of Thursday. But as of Friday afternoon, we don't really know. I think Caicedo is probably more likely to play than Enzo, to be honest. But yeah, all we know is, well, apparently, according to Maresca, that Enzo, Caicedo, and Pedro Neto are three players who didn't start, who were unavailable to train on Thursday, sorry. And yeah, we don't know if they're going to be okay to start or not. We don't know, unfortunately. There is a chance we get a leak in the next hour. I'm hoping we do, because a leak would be very, very useful indeed. But until we do have a leak, it's very difficult to give a concrete answer on that one. So for me personally, I'm going to be looking at getting Enzo next week, most likely, unless we get a leak that he is starting. So, yeah. Some people saying that Enzo trained yesterday. I found absolutely no evidence of that. I did check it out this morning. I've been looking for Enzo news. There has been no evidence of him training yesterday. Whether he has or not is a different question. Well, there's just been no evidence of it. As for you know, any leaks that I've seen so far, again, I've seen nothing reliable at all. So yeah, I'm sure a lot of people will be holding out hope for Enzo starting this week. I'll just be aware that there is nothing concrete out there right now, which is very frustrating as FPL managers. I know I'm sure we all come to these streams and hope for direct answers, guarantees, but we have none. No guarantees with Enzo, no guarantees with Caicedo. And for the 2 people out there who have Pedro Neto in their team, is there even anyone in this stream with Pedro Neto in their FPL team? Probably not. But if there is, yeah, again, another player who we're unsure of. But we will find out in the next hour and 10 minutes. But it might be after deadline by the time we get the news. We'll see. We'll see. We got a chat from Paredes here. It says doubling Mukiele and Alderete for bench boost 10. What's Alderete, Joao Pedro, Enzo latest injury updates? Well, I spoke about Enzo already, and I'm so sorry for those of you guys who watch these streams start to finish. I'm sure I will have to talk about Enzo every 5 minutes throughout this stream. Yeah, it's just the unfortunate nature of things. But yeah, Enzo, we don't know. Joao Pedro is fit, available, trained, absolutely fine. Alderete has also trained, and there is confirmation that there is no muscular injury for him, just a knock sustained whilst on international duty. And yeah, nothing suggesting strongly that Alderete is going to be out. Of course, you never really fully know. But Alderete looks reasonably positive right now. I think there are a few players that look reasonably positive. Alderete is one of them. Out of the, the flagged players, if you like. Enzo, we can't say the same thing. Caicedo, we can't say the same thing. Count Sealor says, I do not like that bench boost, damn. Too bad. I do like this bench boost. I do like this bench boost. I think people have, from previous seasons have very, very high expectations of what a bench boost should look like. Because we're single game week bench boosting, things are not going to look perfect. So you have two choices. You could either rip up your team, use all your transfers to make the perfect bench boost, and then use another 4 transfers to fix things again, or you can just accept the bench boost is not going to be a 20-pointer in the first half of the season. It's maybe gonna get you 15 points if it's very good, and that's absolutely fine. And that's all we really need. I mean, to be honest, is this actually my bench boost? I think maybe if I wasn't on a bench boost, I would probably be playing Alderete over Romero, probably. What are the clean sheet odds saying? I think Spurs are pretty good, 31%. Crystal Palace, 29%. But then, obviously, Richard's more likely to get DEFCON, you would imagine. So, okay, maybe my bench boost is actually more like this. I don't know. I really want to make sure the right players are on my bench. And I think this is probably what I would do if I was not on a bench boost. So I guess it's this. Maybe. Something like that. Yash says, safe Anthony replacements. I don't think I would replace Anthony. 2.6 million in the bank. Bench boost active. Could do Semenyo, Reinders, Minter, other midfielders. Is Miles Sarr would be the player I would go for if you're looking for someone long term as well. That's who I'd be looking for there. Super chat here from T Salama. Thank you very much for all the generous super chats. Really do appreciate it. And T Salama says Van der Ven and Kudus to Richards plus Enzo / Sarr, both one or none. I wouldn't sell Kudus. I definitely wouldn't sell Kudus. In terms of selling Van der Ven, I don't think I'd go for Richards. I think if anyone, I'm going to go for Botman or Chalobah. So I go for Botman or Chalobah if you can afford to do that. If you can't, then I don't think I'd bother. I think I'd just keep Van der Ven, to be honest. That's what I would do. Right, let's do bench boost. Bench list. For all of you guys not on a bench boost this week, I'm sure this is going to be very handy. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so let's get it on screen for you guys. And what I'm going to be really strict today, by the way, because I think it is such an important week for getting your bench decisions right. I'm going to be really strict with the players we allow on the bench list, which means no differentials and no, basically players you just would never bench. So we're not going to see any players like, who you're definitely going to play. Players like Semenyo, you're going to play them, right? Players like, I think Kudus, you're definitely going to play. So I'm not going to put these players on the bench list, but I want you guys to shout out loud and clear in the chat a player you are thinking of benching this week. Or maybe you're like not sure whether to bench them or start them. So give me one player you're not sure whether you should bench them or start them, and we're going to throw them all on the bench list. So we can straight away start throwing some players in. I want to put Alderete in here because I know we've got a few Alderete owners. I'm going to put in Rodon. I'm going to put in Goodmanson. Is that how you spell it? I think so. And then we can maybe throw in a couple of other defenders. We're going to put Senesi in here. I'm going to put Richards just ahead of these guys. I'm going to put him alongside Lacroix. We'll maybe throw Munoz ahead of him this week. Of them, I suppose, at this point. Burn for me isn't super high. I'm going to put Burn down here. And I'm going to put Van der Ven slightly lower here as well. Lots of defenders, I know. So Van der Ven's going to go there. I think Stack is probably below all of these guys. Probably. Maybe ahead of Burn, actually. I'm going to put Stack here. By the way, I think all of these defenders are capable of keeping clean sheets. I'm just kind of trying to go off odds here mostly. If you have Enzo, I would definitely start him. So if you have him already, I would start him. That is not me suggesting you should buy him. But it is saying, if you do have him, I think he's worth starting and then seeing kind of what happens from here. Right. And then we've got Mark Gahey as well. Can we assume Mark Gahey is here? Maybe I'll just take out Lacroix and hopefully that's enough context there. Okay, so then we've got players like Reinders, who I think, honestly, I maybe prefer some of these defenders to Reinders, but not all. By the way, Man City have, the second best projected goals this week. So if Reinders is involved in that somehow, then it's pretty good. Bruno Fernandes, I would play. He's going to go towards the top. Could probably do with a Burnley defender on here as well. Yeah, that's completely fair. So I think we could be okay with maybe putting an Esteve here, maybe. Somewhere like that, I think is about right for him, probably. Burn seems low right now, doesn't he? He does seem low. Good morning, Stathis. Jaden Anthony. I'm gonna put him reasonably high. If you have him, I think he has a good chance of starting. I really do. I feel optimistic about Anthony. He's one of the players I feel more optimistic about. So, what about Chalobah? Yeah, you're going to play your Chelsea defenders, I think. So we'll put Chalobah there. Right, so we've got Ismail Assar and Njai seem to be popular in the chat as well. So Njai is perhaps going to go a little lower than some of these guys. Would I put him above Reinders? Probably not. I think ideally you don't play Njai. I was saying that he is a penalty taker. Oh, he's going to go somewhere around here. Let's put him in here. I'm going to put him just below Reinders. And the other player was Ismail Assar, who I think I'd be slightly more keen on playing. But Sarr here. I think that works for me. Right, Tarkovsky. Tarkovsky's going right at the bottom. Would not be a player I'd be looking to play this week. Minter and Caicedo are coming up in chat a lot right now. Would I start Caicedo ahead of a lot of these guys? Perhaps not. I mean, he's not going to go low. I'm going to put Caicedo here. That's probably about right for him. And the other player was... who was it? I literally just said it, didn't I? Minter is coming up a lot in chat. Minter. Against Newcastle. It is a tough game. going to go higher than... Is he going to go higher than Njai? Probably not. Let's put him here. Let's do it. Something like that. Alderete is on there. I'm not going to put Esteval in there because I used a bit of a differential. I put Esteval pretty high, though. I think if you have Esteval, you probably play him. Right, Matt with the super chat here says, on a bench boost, I have Alderete, Foden, and Jai. Do I swap to Enzo, Sart, and Botman, all free transfers, or stick with what I have? I think I'd stick with what you've got. I mean, would I? Okay. If by some miracle we get an Enzo leak, I would do Njai to Enzo. If not, Njai to Sar. I don't think I'd do any of the other moves. I think I'd keep Foden. I think I'd keep Alderete. I mean, if you're keeping Foden, I'm guessing you have to keep Alderete because budget would be a restriction on that one, I suppose. Yeah, players like Voltamara, you're going to play them. You know, you've bought this player. Presumably, you're planning on playing them. Do I need to? I said I was going to be strict on the bench list. Voltamara, you play. There's not really a world in which you bench him. Xavi Simons is to be fair going to be a player that some people have. I don't really have too much faith in him right now. He's a good fixture though. He's got to go above Reinders and Njai, right? But maybe not too much higher than that. In fact, I'm actually going to throw him ahead of Richards and Gay there. Tosin is interesting. Is he going to start? I don't know. But he is a differential, so we can't include him on the bench list. Gordon, I mean, again, Gordon, if you've bought these Newcastle attackers, you're surely not thinking of benching them. I think this is people asking me to rate their players rather than, you know, help them decide whether to bench them or not. So we're not going to put... In fact, I've got to take off Voltamada as well. You're not going to bench these players. This is the bench list, not a transfer tier list. Stop trying to misuse my beautiful bench list. Happens every week. Rob with the super chat here says, would you bench boost Bravka and Jai, Anderson, Estev? Oh, probably not, to be honest. Not as it is. If you're making a few moves there, Anderson against Arsenal and Jai against City, you're really depending on double Burnley defense. And I'm not sure I'm super keen on that one. So no, probably not. Probably not. Cody says, shout out from Tampa, Florida. Love the channel and good luck this week. Well, shout out right back at you. Virgil van Dijk. People do have Virgil, don't they? Okay, so interesting choice, really, against Manchester United. Good DEFCON potential. I think he'd have to go below the Crystal Palace defenders. And below Leeds and Sunderland, maybe even. Let's go. It feels wrong to put Virgil this low, but I'm going to put him here. I think that makes sense. Let's throw a couple of goalkeepers in, by the way. So, I think I would maybe play Dubravka ahead of Pope. I think. Nah, actually, that's craziness, isn't it? That's crazy talk. Yeah, that's crazy talk. Okay, we're going to put Pope there. We're going to put Dubravka there. I am going to put Sanchez above both of them and Raya as well. So if you have Sanchez, if you have Raya... but some of the other goalkeepers that are popular... Hang on, I'm just going to go and look up who are the most popular goalkeepers in FPL. Team selected by. So Vicario and Pickford and Sells. So I guess if you have Pickford and Sells, you're going to put them down there. Vicario is tricky. I'm going to put him above Dubravka, though. Donnarumma, you can go pretty high. I think if you have Donnarumma, you play him. Only Raya is better probably this week. Tanmay with the super chat says, have Foden, Sarr, Semenyo, Saka, and Kudus in midfield. Should I swap out Foden for Enzo or someone else? Only have one free transfer. Probably not, no. No, your midfield looks strong. I don't think there's any real strong need to change anything there. So yeah, perhaps leave as is. Roofs. People do have roofs, don't they? Roof. It's a good week. Go for him here. Why is Stack bench? I mean, to be fair, Stack is always a player that you have in your squad as a bench backup player. I don't think anyone fully intends on starting him in any given game week, to be honest. More to life than just fixtures. And now that Stack isn't really on corners anymore, I think there is some concern there. How about Romero? Romero is a differential, but if I had to place him, is he a differential? I don't know. Maybe he's not. He would go a little higher than some of these guys. So we go here because of like that additional DEFCON potential. Oh, apparently my tea has arrived and it's outside the door. Thank you very much to my darling wife. 1 second, guys. Thank you. All right, what have we got? Oh, we've got the Holy Guacamole mug today. What a delight. What a delight. We'll show you the Holy Guacamole mug. I don't know what we're saying Holy Guacamole for, though. Holy Guacamole, what an excellent bench boost score. Maybe. Maybe. Oh, by the way, has anyone noticed we're wearing the Lucky Crab shirt today? The Lucky Crab football shirt is here to bring us, hopefully, some FPL joy. We'll find out. We'll find out. So you play Richards over Romero this week? I think so, yeah. I think so. I'd like to play them both, really, but unfortunately, that's not always possible. Right. Is there any major player missing from the bench list? Is there anyone here? Ooh. Rory, if I had both Alderete and Enzo, I would be cautious about playing the bench boost. I think that is maybe a little risky. I'm not saying I wouldn't do it, or I would or wouldn't do it, but it's certainly very risky. All right, Petrovic for goalkeepers. Actually, we've got a super chat here. Tanmay says, have Alderete, Rodon, Senesi, Gay, and Gabriel in defense. Which three do I start all four? And should I sell Gyökeres for João Pedro? Ooh. I would only sell Gyökeres for João Pedro if making a second transfer to bring in a different Arsenal player, essentially. But as for those defenders, I think all of them are on the bench list. So other than Gabriel, who obviously you're going to play. So I'd play Gabriel. I'd start Rodon and Alderete. And I'd bench Senesi. I would maybe play Gay. Would you also play Gay over Romero if you have Semenyo? That is completely down to you. And that's just going to be a case of, do you want to, split your odds, hedge your bets, and, say, oh, this is a win-win scenario? or /lose, depending on how you look at it. Or do you want to maximize your points potential and just go all in on one side or the other? That's a personal choice. I don't have a direct answer for that one. Pedro Porro for this list. Somewhere around Van der Ven. Let's just put it that way. Something like that. Mukiele, yeah, Mukiele's fair. A lot of people do have him. I mean, yeah, he's going to go higher than Alderete given the circumstances. So let's put him right here. Although, to be fair, we can just put them on the same line, can't we? The two players. Oh, no, they're not going to fit. They don't fit together. We're just going to change him to Alderete. Hopefully you guys get the idea. Sean with the super chat says, Ryan does swap for Esteval and take the hit. I would not take a hit for that move, no. I would not take a hit for that move. Would I even do it? I don't think I personally would make that move regardless, because Esteval, yes, he's great for this week, but I think he'd be a player I would be constantly worried about in future game weeks. Sanval says, hey Dan, start Petrovic or Sanchez. Okay, we'll put Petrovic on the list. The answer is Sanchez, by the way, for me. And you've given me your team there as well, but I think it's just that question that's the big one. So Petrovic is, for me, going to go probably below Vicaria and Bravka. I'm going to put Petrovic here. Granit Xhaka. Yeah, he is another player who you might consider including here. But again, he is just a bench player, really. So I prefer him to stack. But yeah, he's a player you're going to bench. Even in a good fixture, these are not players that you typically want to start. But a bench boost? Maybe. Maybe. I think now that most of the key players are on the bench list now. I don't think there's anyone major missing. Like, the ones people are asking about now is like Kudus and Gyökeres. It's like, come on now. You're not going to bench Kudus. You're not going to bench Gyökeres. Let's be realistic here. Lacroix is implied next to Richards and Gay. Anderson is missing. Who owns Anderson in October? Anderson is so August, man. Get with the program, dude. He's an August pick, but he would go low. Why are Burn and Van der Ven so low? Basically non-existent DEFCON potential. Particularly Burn, now that he's going to be playing at left back, he's not going to get defensive contributions very often. And their fixtures are not great. Burn away against, I say that. Burn in particular, poor fixture away against Brighton, who always seem to score. And as for Van der Ven, no DEFCON potential. Well, not usually anyway. Aston Villa might be an edge case, to be fair. We'll have to wait and see. But Aston Villa, you don't really know what Aston Villa are going to turn up. I don't think Spurs have been as good defensively as the clean sheet numbers suggest. So these Spurs guys are never going to go super high on this list, even in a favourable fixtures. And I'm not sure if Aston Villa is a favourable fixture or not. It's somewhere in the middle. Why is Senesi so low if he's got defensive contribution potential? Poor clean sheet odds. I mean, you say it's low. He just has one of the worst fixtures this week. We have so many cheap defenders with great fixtures this week. Naturally, we're just seeing we're seeing some of the defenders that we usually like maybe a little bit lower. That's just kind of what happens when you have so many cheap defenders with such great fixtures all in 1 week. Sean says Richards or Senesi. If you're talking about who to start, I would start Richards over Senesi. Playing at home, similar DEFCON potential. In fact, probably in this particular fixture, Richards has better DEFCON potential than Senesi because of the matchup. Because Bournemouth are going to play high up possession. Crystal Palace are going to play, a defender aggressively. And it's just going to, these Crystal Palace boys are just going to rack up DEFCON points this week. In fact, of all of the teams I fancy for defensive contributions this week, it is Crystal Palace. And in second place, excluding I think Anderson at Fulham is got a good chance, I think. Who's playing Liverpool? Man United. So Man United defenders will get DEFCON. The other team I like for DEFCON this week is Spurs, but they don't really have any really strong DEFCON defenders. Romero is the closest you're going to get there. That is another fixture I think is looking good for DEFCON this week. But certainly Crystal Palace. If you're looking at combined clean sheet odds with DEFCON potential, Crystal Palace probably look like one of the stronger defenses this week. If you're looking for both of those factors, that is. Should I take hits for a bench boost? I don't think so. Grealish to Enzo or Van der Ven for Gvardiol, says Bogdan. I don't know if I'm massively keen on either of those, to be fair. Man City's fixtures don't look great from here, really, until game week 12, where they do look a lot better. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'll do either of those. Because we don't know if Enzo is even going to be starting today. Sam Val says, Haaland or Saka captain? Haaland. Also the team I sent before. See? I'm not sure what that means, Sam Val. But yeah, Haaland captain. Like, there's no doubt about that. Let's do a captain poll, actually. So, who is your Gameweek 8 captain? I think I know what the answer is, but we'll do it anyway. Haaland, Saka, Joao Pedro. Oh, Salah is probably going to have to go on there as well. And if it's someone else, then you've officially lost your mind. Which is, fair enough. If you want to lose your mind, then crack on, but... Borlak says, I refuse to buy Haaland because I'm an idiot. I'm sticking with Salah out of pure stubbornness. I admire your loyalty, my friend. Your wife is a lucky lady. Mickey Reese says, I'm thinking it's a bench boost with Richarlison, Romero, Dubravka, and Senesi on the bench. Oh yeah, I think I would strongly consider that bench boost. Yeah, I think that's got to be considered. It's got to be considered. Alex says, is Calafiori a good option or is he a minutes risk? I think he is more of a minutes risk than any other Arsenal defensive asset that we're talking about. So he is the biggest out of Calafiori, Saliba, Gabriel, Timber, Raya. Calafiori is the most minutes risk, but certainly in the Premier League, we've not seen too much evidence of him being rotated. So it's difficult to say. I mean, I still think that you got a really good shot that Lewis Skelly is going to play at some point in the Premier League. That could be in a month's time. That could be this week. It could be in 2 months' time. I don't really know. So yeah, there is some risk there. I think I don't. If I'm buying Arsenal players, I don't think I'd play games. I would get my 3 favorite Arsenal players. That's going to be different depending on who you are, and I wouldn't really compromise, or at least not compromise too much on which of the players you're going to go for. I would, even if it takes multiple transfers to ensure you get the players that you want. Yeah, that's what I would do there. That's what I would do. So, can we park the bench list for a moment? We haven't put my team on screen for a little while, so we'll do that for a few minutes, and we'll do the whole Enzo Caicedo thing again, I suppose. We've got to do it. I will check to see if there's been any updates in information, but as far as I'm aware, there is not much change. So. Nothing, no. So the update is Enzo didn't train on Thursday. If he trained on Friday, which we don't know, then he will be available. If he doesn't train on Friday, which we don't know, he will be unavailable. So that is Enzo. We don't have anything concrete on him, unfortunately. Yeah, again, like I kind of mentioned earlier, we come to these streams and hope for that guaranteed information. Football doesn't work like that, unfortunately. Quite often is the case that we don't know for sure. There are concerns, there are injury doubts. Lots of these decisions will be left until the last minute. I'm sure the decision has been made by this point on Enzo, but I mean, it serves no purpose for Chelsea to come out and make an official statement on Enzo starting or not. It's really only for us FPL managers. And why would you sacrifice tactical advantages of the opposition not knowing who is going to start to help out FPL managers? Not really realistic. So we don't know is the answer on Enzo, whether he's going to start or not. I would say it's, if I had to make a guess, I'd say it's probably 55-45 in Enzo's favour. But I am guessing. I really am guessing. As for Caicedo, I feel a little bit more optimistic about him because even though he apparently didn't train on Thursday, we've seen him in training photos. So, bit of a confusing one. At least he was with the group in some capacity. Whether or not he had full training or not, I don't know. But Caicedo was at least with the group on Thursday, which kind of maybe gives him a little more favour than Enzo. So that's all we have there. The other players that people are worried about are Alderete, of which the news is reasonably positive. He is in full training. There is no injury there. So I guess that's positive. Likely to start if that's the case. And Anthony is maybe the other one. And we don't have any information on Anthony. There was no update in the press conference about Jadon Anthony, which presumably means he's fine. He wasn't even mentioned. So no news is good news as far as I'm concerned. Antonio, thank you for the super sticker. Sophie says Romero to Cucurella. Not this week, I don't think, Sophie. What did I say? Not this week. I don't think I'd do that. I think Romero to someone next week could be interesting, but not to Cucurella. I think if anyone from Chelsea defense, it's probably Chalobah. Well, yeah, not super convinced by that one. Romero, decent for DEFCON this week, at the very least. DT says, Virgil van Dijk for Gabriel / Timber or Watkins for Voltemada / Bowen for -4. Ooh. I'd just do the Arsenal move. And I'd do Gabriel over Timber, I think. Oh, Nixie says Anthony was mentioned in the presser. Oh, in the notes, the press conference notes I read, he wasn't even in there. Scott said he was hopeful he'd be available. That's maybe more concerning. But the injury wasn't significant, was it? And it's been 2 weeks. I think Anthony's going to be fine. In terms of, who do I think is going to have a better chance of starting, Anthony or Enzo, for example? I would put Enzo ahead. No, sorry, I'd put Anthony ahead. Way ahead. And just like that, I finished spending a few minutes talking about Caicedo and Anthony and Enzo. And there's a chat immediately in there. Any news on Caicedo and Anthony? Yeah. Every 10, 15 minutes. And there's an identical update. So you're going to have to wait around for that one. Do you look at individual teams? Yes, on Thursday night's member streams. Yeah, we do team ratings on on every member stream. I may as well plug this. I never plug this. I really, really should do more of plugging the channel memberships. But if you would like to join as a member of the channel, there are some benefits of doing so. So you can join at the bench level, which is the basic level. You're going to get your members badges. You're going to get priority replies in the chat. And you're going to get custom emojis. With that, you also get one free super chat a month. I don't know how that works exactly, but that is how it works. And yeah, I think it's only, depending on your region, it's like somewhere between like 50p and £1, depending on your region, per month. Starting 11 tier, this is where we do get a lot of benefits here. So you get access to the 100 Experts private Discord channel, where you can talk with the experts, chat through your team, get your team rated by those guys. You get the member stream. The member stream include team ratings available to all members at the starting 11 tier or above. That's every single week. We rate all of the members' teams. We did one last night. Actually, we had a delayed one last night. We usually do it on a Thursday, and that was great. And we rated a whole bunch of people's teams in that one. Even if you're unavailable for those streams, you can still get your team rated. Just send me your team ahead of time, and you can catch up on the stream whenever you like. We've got all of my planning sheets. You'll have access to those. You'll get early access to videos whenever I have videos out early, and you get access to the private mini league, the members only mini league as well. And if you want to, for some reason, go to the final tiers, you can get some shout outs in videos as well, if you just really want to support the channel. And of course, if you join as a member of the channel now, your name is going to appear in this box. Wow, amazing. Honestly, if you don't believe me, try it out. It works. So yeah, I do appreciate all of you guys joining as members, and it does massively help supporting support the channel, and it allows me to kind of do some of the projects that maybe I wouldn't be able to do if not for those memberships. So yeah, massively appreciate all of the members helping to support the channel. We could not do this without you guys. Speaking of members, there's a couple of members in the chat right now with some questions. Craig says, Anderson, Tarkovsky, Stack, and Dubravka on the bench. Worth bench boosting or just roll? I guess that's Anderson as in Fulham Anderson. Not there's too much difference between the two. Is that worth a bench boost? Probably not. I'm going to say probably not on that one. I don't think I'd do it. Maybe a little forced. Why is Caicedo on my bench in the hub predictor? Because of the minutes. It's factoring in his percentage chance of starting or not. Enzo or Unjai to play this week. All right, I think it's time to put the bench list back on screen, isn't it? Because there's a few bench-related questions coming into the chat now. So let's throw that back on. Wait, that didn't appear. There we go. Sutton Explorer says, membership is worth it, guys. On a bench boost, only concern I have is Dewsbury Hall. No extra budget, really. Any transfers? Also, hope you are better, Dan. Better is subjective. Coping, better, for sure. Healing, yes. Enjoying FPL video streams and hopefully the actual game of FPL as a distraction, absolutely. So, yeah, positives. As for the bench boost, would I make a transfer on Dewsbury Hall? Probably not, to be honest. Yeah, can't think of a strong reason to transfer him. I mean, it's using a transfer on a 5 million midfielder. Like, what's the upside there? You're going to move Dewsbury Hall 2-pointer to a Stack 2-pointer or a Xhaka 2-pointer. Maybe these guys get a few more points, but probably not enough to justify a transfer. So I'm going to say no on that one. Those of you guys asking if I'm bench boosting, yes, I am. I am bench boosting. And I'm going to enjoy every moment of it. You know what a great thing about bench boosting is? So I have a player playing in 8 out of the 10 Premier League games. So I've got something to watch pretty much in every game this weekend, which is awesome. What a welcome back to FPL that is. Really nice. I really should mention this and remind you guys. If you are not a Fantasy Football Hub member, this isn't a hard sell, by the way, guys. You probably know by now that I absolutely love Fantasy Football Hub. I use their tools all the time. All of their tools. This is your last chance to get the money back if you don't win your mini league deal. Like it ends in 12 minutes. So like, yeah. So if you sign up to Fantasy Football Hub in the next 10 minutes, then and then you don't win your mini league, you have to tell them which mini league you want to win. And if you don't win your mini league, they will give you your money back at the end of the season. And it's also 50% off right now. This is your last opportunity to get this. I don't know if this deal, watch this deal extend as always. I have been told, I got a message earlier this week that this is absolutely the deadline. And to make sure people know this is the deadline. But with this deal, you get access to the Opta Stats tool, which I think is absolutely amazing. This is the tool I use constantly for researching players. There's so many, you know, it's so customizable. You can get exactly what you're looking for in so many different ways. Like, it's crazy. You can switch it to teams as well. It's awesome. You can order it by any of these factors, whatever. So if I want to look at, okay, let's go players. I want to know which player has the best non-penalty expected goals so far this season per 90 minutes, excluding players who are not really playing. Boom. Right there. The answer is Haaland, by the way, followed by Sarr. Yeah, love it. And of course you get the my team tool. Oh, that reminds me, I'm going to do a wildcard team. So this is the my team tool as well. So I'm going to do a quick wildcard team for you guys. I already know pretty much who's going in it because I actually made one yesterday for my brother who requested one. I'm going to show you what it would look like. And I think, let's go Semenyo, we'll go Sarr. I would go for Enzo and acknowledge that he may be unavailable this week. So after that, we would go for probably Anderson for the long term, probably Rodon for a defensive option. And that way you can go for Senesi and you wouldn't have to play him this week. And then after that, you've got 11.8. You're going to have to go cheap in one of these spots. There are like some cheap midfielders that are like okay. So, you know, we can look at like a, to be fair, if you're willing to go for Calvert-Lewin, then that does genuinely open up some options for you guys. Or you could go for Foster. But let's if you're just planning on benching this player most weeks, then maybe Calvert-Lewin. Or the other option is you go cheap here. Maybe stick a... Is Dewsbury Hall still worth it? Probably not. And go like Thiago or someone like that. I think these last two options are... It's totally budget dependent. This is based on a 100 million budget. But if you're willing to go down to like Obi here, then that actually does free up a decent amount of money. Depending on your budget. I don't know, like how much money you guys have. Well, you can afford quite a few different players. Like maybe Gakpo. Maybe Gakpo, maybe Gordon as well, potentially here. He's 7.4. You know what? It works so perfectly for the 100 million budget. We may as well do that. So yeah, something like this for a wildcard team. And I would play Enzo instead of Senesi. And I would play... Oh, no, sorry. You go like that. Yeah. And I would do... Probably play Pope instead of Dubravka. I'll do that. So for a wildcard, that I like. Something like that. But anyway, that's a little wild card. But yes, as I say, guys, you got 7 minutes now. If you want to sign up for Fantasy Football Hub and get the best deal of the season, then literally right now is the time to do it. Right this second. And also, I think if you're, by the way, looking at this team again, if you are not on a bench boost this week and you're looking to make some transfers, if you're kind of trying to target a team to move towards, to build towards, I think this is, you know, pretty much there. These are the kind of players you're probably looking at bringing in. Mostly, at least. But there we go. All right, let's catch up with some chats. Some super chats. So Ibrahim says, Porro, Xavi, Hugo, Van Dijk to Sesko. Oh dear. Saka, Trippier, and Timber for free transfers. I wouldn't go for Trippier. Definitely would not go for Trippier. If you want a Newcastle defender, go for Botman. Sesko, I'm not super keen on. If you're looking for a new striker, if you don't have Joao Pedro, I'd go for him. If not, I'd go for Voltemada. If not, maybe Bowen. But Saka and Timber look great. Generally speaking, those moves look pretty good. So yeah, I would just switch Trippier for Botman, and I would swap Sesko for Joao Pedro, Gyökeres, or Bowen in that order. Lucas says, would you bench boost and Jai, Estev, Dubravka, Juve? That's tough. I mean, maybe if you do bench boost that, I would manage your expectations. So I think if it was me, I don't think I would be quite happy enough with that one. Remember, like next week, we have another nice fixture for Burnley against Wolves. So you know, you never know. Gameweek 9 could work for a bench boost for some people as well. Not for all people. Like Leeds at home against West Ham isn't too bad. Sunderland do not have a good fixture next week. It's away to Chelsea, though. Yes, I am still playing the bench boost. The bench boost is very much active. And I'm rolling to 5 transfers, which is... I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Right. Surely, if we're going to get a leak for Enzo Fernandes, then now is the time. Now is the time to see it. You would have thought. I'm not seeing any leaks, guys. I'm not seeing any leaks. To be fair, we don't often get leaks from Chelsea. Matt, thank you very much for becoming a member of the channel. Here for FPL says Raya and Bruno to Pope and Saka have 4 free transfers. I'm not really super keen on that move. I prefer the double Arsenal defense. If you really want to, sure. If you feel strongly about it, then go for it. But I don't feel strongly about that one, so it's not a move I'd be looking at personally. I mean, I also have 4 free transfers. I'm not making any kind of play for Saka. There's multiple ways I can get to Saka. Not really interested in doing it, to be honest. But like, that's not me saying it's a bad move, because it's not. It's really not a bad move. I'm just going to keep refreshing for leaks, by the way, guys. And hoping that we do get something, but I'm feeling not super optimistic, to be honest. at this moment. If we get something great, if we don't, probably maybe it's for the best. Chasing price changes? I get it. I get it. Is Voldemort essential? I don't think so. He's a solid option, but I don't think he's essential. Nico to Gabriel for a hit. Yeah, I think I would do that, Matt, to be fair. I think I would do that. Come on, show us something. Give us some kind of leak. We're not getting it, are we? We got like 1 minute. How long we got until deadline? It should say on screen. 1 minute. I'm seeing absolutely nothing, guys, from anything I trust. Yeah, it's not happening. Super Chat says, Mbermo to Enzo. You've left it way too late, my friend. I don't think I would do it at this point, regardless. But no, Eunice. Yeah, looks like no leaks, but it does look like bench boost is locked in, mate. Come on, I'm so excited for this deadline to pass. 15 seconds. Come on. Is everyone happy with their team? Hang on, I'm just going to double check captain's armbands and what have you are in the right place. Everything looks correct. I hope so, because there's like 5 seconds till deadline. And we are locked in. Boom. There we have it. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, FPL is officially back. Oh, I needed this. I needed this. I absolutely needed this. Leaks coming out in 10 seconds over. Yeah, you know what? I'd be very interested to see if there are any like FPL content creators who made last minute moves to bring Enzo in. If there are, well, all eyes on them. Very suspicious. But we'll find out. We will find out. Well, we'll have official team news in 15 minutes. I think we'll stick around for that because I'm super interested. Then after that, I'm gonna need to try and get a few weekend league games in before the first kickoff because I haven't played any of my weekend league games in yet. Do you want to see my FC team? I mean, we're post deadline. We may as well chat waffle for 15 minutes whilst we wait for the official teams. Oh, we've sold 3 players. Yay. Relist a bunch of stuff here. Right. So this is my team currently. And there we go. Any changes I need to make? Any transfers I can make? I'm not sure. Got a few players untradeable. I've got Gyökeres and Dudek, Mendes, Marquinhos, and Frimpong are untradeable. Everyone else is tradable. But yeah, I've hybrided my team a little bit. It's like a PSG Liverpool hybrid at this point, with a sprinkling of Arsenal in there. And I think I'm good for 9 wins. No Pina, no party. I'm not playing that Pina game. Sick of her. I'm absolutely sick of her. Sutton Explorer says, so now deadline has passed. Just know we are all here for you and appreciate you. We fully understand if you need a day off here and there to heal. Thank you very much, Sutton Explorer. I do appreciate that, man. But honestly, I think making videos, being back, having a focus has been genuinely good for me. So, no, it's really good to be back. It's really good to be back and making FPL videos. To be honest. And yeah, like you guys know by now, I'm sure it comes across in videos that I just love making YouTube videos. I just love it. Like this is, whatever else happens in my life, we've got YouTube. And as long as we've got YouTube, we're very happy because this it's always been my dream job since I was a kid and always been making videos since I can remember. So wouldn't have it any other way. So whilst we're here, we're happy. Plus, I've got FC 26 to play. I've got my health. Got a bench boost. Got a weekend of football ahead of me. There are reasons to be positive, and I will always try and be positive where I can. Find the positives. Julian says, would you have played Alderete, Richards, or Senesi? I would have played. I would have started Alderete, I think. No, all Richards. No, I would have started Richards. Get Reinders. Cyclopath says, keep up the good work, Dan. Thank you, Matt. I'll try my best. Get Reinders. Yeah, I'm thinking of Reinders in for Vitinha. Whoops, didn't mention the wife. Yeah, no, I mean, obviously, my wife as well is absolutely amazing. And I'm very, very, very happy to have her. That's because I'm staring at I think my mind is so focused on FPL and I'm looking at FC that that was all that came off my mind. Fortunately for her, but yes, of course, my darling wife as well. Is stick to FPL? Oh, in terms of getting Reinders, yeah, I do think I might get him in for Vitinha. I think that could work pretty well in this position. And it works for chemistry as well. I think, yeah, it would be perfect chemistry still. And the cat. Oh, never forget the cat. The cat is an absolute legend. I don't know what I would do without Milton. He really is the top dog, which is strange for being a cat. It sticks to FPL back next week. No is the answer pretty much. I don't know when Stick to FPL will be back. I can't even promise you that it will definitely be back or not, to be honest. Basically, Stick to FPL is very expensive to make. And whilst the sponsorships flow well in the early season to kind of fund it, it's great, but there are some costs I have coming up, some big expenses, which I'll talk about at some point, I'm sure. But yeah, I am needing to manage my expenditure. Let's put it that way. At the moment, I'm not in financial trouble, by the way, or anything like that. But yeah, need to be a little bit more careful of where I'm spending money and the podcast. The costs before you add in like how much the podcast makes in terms of money. It costs well over 10 grand a year to produce, well over plus, and that's excluding my time, that's excluding my travel expenses and everything like that. So it's really expensive to produce. It was maybe up a little bit for the first part of the season, but I don't think that will continue. So it's yeah. So that's the podcast situation. Just being totally 100% honest with you guys, it is just very, very expensive to produce, and I have to be a bit more careful with money at the moment, unfortunately. I can't really afford to do things that lose money, really, at the moment. But hey, you never know. A few more people join as channel members. Maybe we'll be back on. We'll see. So yeah, sorry about that, guys. But we'll see. You know, if we get sponsors come in or something like that, then maybe that changes things. Was the new bed that expensive? Actually, yes, it was. Yeah. Yeah, it kind of was. It was worth it though. I mean, my last bed, I don't know if you remember, guys, a few weeks ago, I came onto a Saturday morning deadline stream, and I'd woken up by falling through my bed because the wooden boards underneath the mattress had broken. I don't know what that says about me. Maybe I put on a bit of timber. But I've fallen through the bed, and that was my morning wake up call. And so, yeah, that needed replacing. But that's not the reason Stick to FPL is ending, because I had to replace a bed. So it wasn't that expensive, no. Right, I wonder if we've got any leaks. Considering we are so close. No is the answer at the moment. Yes, I have used my bench boost, by the way, guys. Just a reminder of that. I should probably tweet out my team. Just whilst we wait for some kind of leaks. Joe, thank you very much. Frederick, you can't make a less costly one. I could, but it just wouldn't be as good. And I'm already not totally convinced that Stick to FPL was any good. I don't know. A lot of people tried FPL pods, but Stick to FPL was clear number one and entertaining. I'm really glad you think so. I don't think I was fully happy with it. It took a lot of time, a lot of money. If it continues, I don't know. It's a drain. It's a drain, but we'll see. Right. Gameweek 8 bench boost. Actually, FPL. I need to tweet out something good. FPL Gameweek 8 bench boost. Team locked. Did you have a falling out? I've not had a falling out with anyone. No. Not falling out with anyone. I mean, Sim is away at the moment. Well, not at the moment, actually. I think he goes away like this week, maybe. And he's away for like 3 weeks. So it's kind of good timing in a way. We could do a deal on my cat. No, my cat is not for sale. It might be less completely stat focused, but the blend of comedy and structure is way better than the other. Yeah, I just don't know if that has a wide enough appeal. It's great, like I think it's a great niche podcast, but niche podcasts can't be expensive, basically, or they need to be supported, sponsored, more so. Surely we're closing in on some Enzo news. 3 minutes. I can't believe it. We've got 3 minutes until we get the official lineup, and nobody has leaked anything. Crazy. They have kept very, very tight-lipped. I don't know how they've managed to keep this under wraps. Would you use a free transfer on your cat? No, stop trying to take my cat away from me. I need him. Mickey Reese says, I have a pod production business in West London. Happy to help you guys out. West London. Whereabouts in West London? See what my travel time. I mean, my travel time to the current studio in London is 45 minutes to an hour, depending on the day, which isn't too bad. Do you play Rocket League? I mean, I have played it before. I'm not currently playing it. I'm not very good at it, basically. Wandsworth Town. Let me look where that is. That is a 2-hour drive for me. Yeah, maybe a little far for me, my friend. Yeah, 2 hours drive or 1 hour 40 on a combination of buses and trains. So pretty far from me. Yeah, I live north of London, so yeah, some places are difficult to get to. Not gonna lie, it's better after the deadline when the chat is chill. I like it. I like it a lot. Do you play Marvel Rivals? Now, Chris, you're talking my language. I play a lot of Marvel Rivals. I don't know how good I am at Marvel Rivals. I'm currently in Diamond 2 or 3, which is the highest I've ever got in terms of Marvel Rivals ranked, which I think is acceptable level. I wouldn't say I'm good at it. But yeah, I have been playing it and really, really enjoying it. I bet Dan is a tank main. Recently, yes. Recently, yeah, I've been playing primarily as Emma Frost and Penny Parker. But that's mostly because I'm trying to get Lords. The Lords I have are Cloak and Dagger, Scarlet Witch, Emma Frost. And those are the only 3. Yeah, those are the only 3 I have Lords. And I'm close on Penny Parker Lord as well. So yeah, I play a whole. I basically try and have 2 heroes in each category, and I try and fill. Like like in any video game, we got teams, by the way. In any, pretty much in any video game I play, I'm like, I love being a massive team player. I will fill in the gaps where, you know, other people don't want to play. Basically, always a team player. Always play objectives. Always fill in where I'm needed. Well, that is probably not the news maybe some people were hoping for. But it is official, guys. Enzo is not in the squad. Enzo is not in the squad. Caicedo is on the bench. Chalobah's starting. No Tosin. Or Tosin on the bench. Yeah, it's not ideal. I'm very glad I didn't make the Enzo transfer now. Very glad. Just catching up on this Marvel Rivals chat as well. You've got to stick with my goat, One Trick Doctor Strange. I've not bothered learning him yet, but yeah, he seems really good when you get a good one. Chris says, I love playing Rocket. Yeah, Rocket is fun. It's fun, but I feel like I can't impact the game enough as Rocket, so that's why I don't typically choose Rocket. But yeah, there you go. There's your Chelsea news. No Enzo Caicedo on the bench. It's not great. I mean, I was technically right when I said that Caicedo is looking more positive than Enzo, because at least he's on the bench. Damn. What is Enzo's ownership? Is it a lot? Should I have a look? 14.6%. How many transfers in? Ooh, Caicedo, 500,000 transfers in. Enzo, 280,000 transfers in. Oh, that's brutal. That is brutal. The good thing is, if you haven't bench boosted and you are an Enzo owner, at least you know, this is the positive, that he's not going to get that annoying 1 minute off the bench, 1 pointer. You know now, you have the information. Whoever is first on your bench, hopefully you've set your bench order correctly, and the first player on your bench is going to come on and they're going to play instead. So that is the positive. I think it would be probably more frustrating for Enzo owners if he was on the bench, because then you'd be like, oh, will he get 1 minute? Will he get that 1 pointer? And that'll be super frustrating. That's if you didn't bench boost. But listen, there's if you're feeling down right now, don't worry. There's a good chance I feel the same way with Alderete later on this afternoon. Damn, man. I feel like I've got away with murder. I feel like I've absolutely got away with it. Joao Pedro on penalties now as well, which is interesting. Again, maybe a positive there. If you have Joao Pedro, you've got your penalty taker there, maybe. Which is, you know, pretty decent. Pretty decent. Chris says, brought in Caicedo last minute and bench boosted. Hey, you never know. You could get a... Well, as CV Music has just said, Caicedo about to come and get 25 defensive contributions from 20 minutes of game time. I would not be surprised with this guy. I would not be surprised with this guy at all. You know, stranger things have happened. They really, really have. He's an absolute madman. Like, there is genuinely a possibility that he does get DEFCON from the bench. Like, it's possible, right? We should probably look at the Forest lineup. Probably. Yeah, presumably Reece James is playing in a midfield position here. Right, Forest, Nottingham. I'm so glad I got Sarr instead of Njai. Thank you, Dan. You're welcome. Nottingham Forest, Sells, Williams, Morato, Murillo, Sangare, Anderson, Awani, Gibbs White, Douglas Luiz, Milenkovic, Zinchenko. No Chris Wood. He's on the bench. Hudson-Odoi on the bench and Doy on the bench. Mixing it up. Mixing it up. Anderson is there, though. Gibbs White's there. Douglas Luiz is interesting. Wait, there's 3 defensive midfielders. Anderson, Sangare, Douglas Luiz, Gibbs White is a crazy midfield, by the way. We've got Milenkovic there as well. So, sorry, let's just get this straight. We've got... is Ange taking them? Is he taking the piss? Is he taking the piss? He's playing 3 centre-backs, 5 at the back formation, 3 defensive midfielders, 1 box-to-box midfielder, and a striker. No attacking midfielders, like no true attacking midfielders. You can call Gibbs White an attacking midfielder if you want. I don't know if he's a true attacking midfielder. So no true attacking midfielders. No, sorry, Awani up front. No attacking midfielders, no wingers. It's just Awani and a bunch of defenders, essentially. And going for the 10-1 formation. Crazy. Oh well. Right. I should probably go ahead and head off, guys. But I appreciate you guys chatting with me today. Always appreciate you guys joining me for these streams. I enjoy chatting with you guys. I enjoy talking with you guys, whether that's about FPL, other stuff. It's always a pleasure. It means a lot to me. So thank you, guys. Feel free to drop a like on your way out. If you haven't subscribed already, I'm sure you have by this point. But if you haven't done so, I'll always appreciate it. But I'm so excited for FPL to be back, and better still, a bench boost week for me. Guys, enjoy the football. I'll catch you over on Twitter if you are on there. Enjoy the weekend, enjoy the football. Good luck this game week, and I will see you later, mates.